Alright guys, it's Hoyt here with Whitetail Ridge Outdoors. It's currently October 11th. We're set up in the same oak flat that I'd harvested a doe prior a couple days ago during the opening weekend of Virginia archery season. I put a camera out up here, been having quite a few more does and stuff that's been hanging around. Not really any bucks or nothing. So decided to come up here again this morning and see if we can't stick another big doe and add some more meat in the freezer. It's a nice cool morning. I think at daybreak this morning it's right at 37 degrees, so got a little bit of a frost on in some parts here in Virginia. I should have a deer up and moving and up on their feet. Like I said, I'm still sitting here in this oak flat, and acorns are still dropping. There's plenty that's on the ground, and more is continuing to drop. So theoretically, the deer ought to be in here and come in here and eat all these acorns that's fallen and whatnot. So should be a pretty successful morning. I feel like with this nice little cold front that hit, it's been kind of warm here lately, but this cold front coming through, and then this food source of acorns, I really feel like the deer's gonna be moving real good this morning. So we're gonna sit back here and see what might come by, and maybe we'll get a shot on something before too long. acorns and wasn't coming down in close here to present me with a shot. And finally, a little spike in a doe come walking right down off this ridge behind me here. Same place where I harvested the one here last week. Come feeding off this ridge here, come walking down, and got 30 yards from me. I had adjusted my bow sight for 30 yards earlier because I was hoping that they would feed across parallel with me. And when they had fed on and stayed like 40 yards, I had adjusted my sight back down to 20 and left it on it. And it's completely my fault. That's the only thing about using single pins. I completely forgot about adjusting it back up to 30 yards. So when that doe stepped out there, kind of quartered away from me, I dropped back, put it right on her and shot. And thankfully, she dug really hard, and I did hit her low, but I think I hit her good enough that she's gonna go down. Like I said, she was standing at 30. I ranged it after the fact. She was at 30. My pin was set at 20. I'd forgotten to switch it back to 30. And it's completely my fault. But like I said, I watched her after I shot. I knew I'd hit her a touch low, but I figured it might be high enough. She went across this ridge right here behind me, went down across a little dip up on the other side. And I watched her and the spike stand over there together for a little while, and she just kind of stood around, not really doing much. And then she'd walk probably 40 yards down that other opposite ridge from me. And when she done that, I lost sight of her. About, I don't know, 3-4 minutes later, I heard loud crashing. I turned around and looked, and I had seen her going down the ridge. She fell down, and then right now I can actually see her bedded down across from me on the opposite ridge. She's been bedded down for a little bit now, and I haven't seen her move, so I believe that she's finally laid down over and perished. So I think we got a doe down, guys. Like I said, I hate that that happened with my pin, but that's just part of using a single pin. I totally forgot about switching it back to 20 yards and thought I was still on 30, but she's bedded down over here on the other ridge from me, and I'm pretty sure she's down, and she went down pretty quick, so I must have hit her probably low in the heart or the bottom of her lungs, but it was plenty enough to knock her down. So I'm gonna get all my stuff packed up here, get on, climb down the tree here, and then we'll go over and find my arrow and see if we can go over and put our hands on her. See you guys out here in a minute. Alright, here's my arrow, guys. Definitely got blood in it. A lot of fur. I was shooting a Rage 2-blade this morning. Blood actually looks pretty good. You can see here all these acorn holes. That's what they've been in here eating. Bunch of red oaks and chestnut oaks coming up around this real pretty flat. Plenty of oaks and stuff on her. She was standing right here, and you can see right there, that's my stand where I set up. Same place as where I harvested the doe the other day. Now this morning, arrow looks pretty good. I don't really smell nothing bad on it. Like I said, I know the shot was kind of low. She was 30 yards, and I forgot to adjust my pin back, and had it on 20 and shot and hit real low. But I watched her run across this ridge right here, and she fell down over there and been bedded down this whole time. I gave her about an hour and a half. She hasn't moved any, so I'm gonna creep my way out this ridge here towards her, walk through, see if I can find blood, stay on the trail if I can find it. If not, then I'm gonna go straight over to where I see her laying at, and
hopefully she's already expired. So y'all stay tuned, and hopefully here in a minute we'll have a doe in front of us. Right here's first blood. First blood I've been able to call, leading towards her. As you can see, I must have clipped the bottom of her heart and or lung. There's a pretty good blood going out this trail out here down towards where she ended up going to. She's bedded down right over there, and hasn't moved yet, so I'd say she's done, guys. I'm gonna ease my way down here and go lay my hands on her. Alright, guys, I found her over here. She did exactly what I thought, ran over here and stood for a little bit, fell down and ended up bedded down right here. Shot ended up being a little better than I thought it was. Sit my bow down. She's laid right up on this log right here. A lot better than what I thought. I thought I hit her a lot lower than that, but apparently not. Of course, that's the exit side right there. She's quartered away from me. Come out about perfect. She's out here, and if you come up this big ridge, up on the other side, my stand is somewhere right in there, and she made it probably, I don't know, 80, 100 yards, piled up right here on this log. So I'm gonna get her flipped around here and cleaned up a little bit and get you guys a little outro with her. Alright, guys, once again, another awesome morning in the Virginia woods. It's October 11th, and got my third doe down of the year. Finally punched all my doe tags, and now I'll be looking forward to trying to chase a buck. Had 4 does come in this morning and a little fawn. They kind of stayed feeding around about 40 yards where I couldn't get a shot at, and this one here in a spike that ended up showing up, come feeding down off the ridge where I was sitting and watching at, and I got a 30-yard window right there. And previously, before that, I had one of the does come to 32, and I'd adjusted my single pin to 32, and she had either seen the camera or seen me act real spooky, started stomping her legs and wheeled and kind of ran off, never blew or nothing, then went back to feeding on acorns. So I had adjusted my sight back to 20 yards and then forgot that I had done so. So later on, 10-15 minutes later, when this doe right here come walking down through there, she got my 30-yard lane quartered away from me, and I said right there would be perfect. And I drawed back, put my top pin on her, shot, and I immediately knew, or thought anyway, that I'd hit her kind of low, but she had ducked like crazy, thankfully. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have shot underneath her. But as you can see, this is the exit side right here, exited perfect. Entered back here kind of farther back, but she was quartered away so steep. I intended on doing that way it'd come out towards the front here, but she wheeled and ran over here up this ridge above me and stood around with that spike for probably 3-4 minutes, and finally I heard a bunch of crashing, and she started to cough a little bit, and I seen her, and she ended up bedding down over here and or crashing. Don't know which. I could just barely kind of see her body laying over here. So I gave her about an hour laying over here, hadn't seen her move, went ahead and climbed down my stand, snuck down over here, and here she lays. Made a lot better shot than what I thought, and that's the only thing about some single pins is you got to make sure that you keep them things adjusted, and I totally forgot and thought I had left it on 30 yards, but I adjusted it back to 20. But it worked out. I'm thankful for this big healthy doe, and now the fun begins, trying to get this thing dragged out of the mountain here and back to the house. But she come across this ridge probably 80 yards, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell really on the camera, but it's about straight up and down. If it wasn't for this log, she'd be rolling on down the hill. So it's gonna be fun getting her out of here. But the truck's downhill at the bottom of the mountain, got about a 500-yard drag. And till next time, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing cleaned up, get her dragged on out of here, and hopefully we'll have some more film for you guys before the year is out. This is the third doe I've had and harvested in Virginia so far. Dylan's been hard at it. He's had a few opportunities but hasn't seen any arrows yet, so hopefully before too long he can knock one down and maybe I can find me a buck. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all y'all's love and support. Continue to watch the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hopefully we can bring you some more content. Thank you guys, and we'll see you.